Alright, yeah, there you guys are. So you're here because the new Pixel 9 just came out and you're wondering how it fares against the iPhone 15 Pro Max, or probably more accurately, you're wondering how the heck the Pixel 9 fares against the iPhone. So my history and experience with the Apple ecosystem is probably a little bit different than most people's, but really today what you're going to be getting is a well-rounded, as unbiased as humanly possible review of how these two break down, who these two phones are kind of for. And if you're in the market for a new phone, what you're not getting here are just specs and data, but really real world, practical, tangible things that I think really make a difference on a day-to-day basis for these two phones and who they're for. And so if you guys are new here, my name is Dave, and this is where tech meets lifestyle. How long would it take to drive from here to the Empire State Building? When do geese migrate? Can you tell me what the weather is going to be in California tomorrow? How would I say, hello, how are you doing today in Spanish?
Hola, ¿cómo estás hoy?
Now, talking about features that make a real-world, tangible difference on a day-to-day basis, this AdMe feature on the Pixel is amazing. I talked about this in my video from last week versus the S24 Ultra. This is something that you're not finding on the Ultra or the iPhone. I told my dad about this feature, he wanted to try it out, and it was one of those things that I realized immediately would make a huge difference in real-world scenarios where you're taking a picture with a group of friends or family. And on top of that, it made for a really fun bonding moment with my dad, where you got to see some cool technology in real time. Probably not going to be a make or break feature for a lot of people, but functionally give the Pixel a 100% thumbs up for having tech like this built into the phone. And for my fellow phone gamers out there playing Dragon Ball Legends or Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, to put it simply, you can max basically absolutely everything out over here on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And on previous Pixel devices, the 5, the 6, the 7, those really were mid-range gaming phones where you really were getting like low to medium settings depending on the game that you were playing. The Pixel 9 Pro XL is a step above that, where now, for the first time on a Pixel device, I can play Honkai Star Rail at maximum settings and I can get a really smooth gameplay experience. When it comes to like the super heavy, intensive games, you unfortunately are not able to run those things at maximum. You are going to get some stuttering and some lagging, but this is an improvement for sure over previous iterations. And if you're looking to do like medium to medium high setting gameplay stuff now, you certainly can do that. That's not gonna be a big deal for a lot of people, but for people like myself that care about those things, this is definitely going to be the way you want to go. So a couple of things here for context, right? So historically, I am more of an Android-leaning guy, but not because the iPhone is bad, right? I mean, all the way in graduate school, my iPad Pro got me through absolutely everything I needed, all the way up to my clinical exam so I can get my license as a therapist. And my MacBook Pro is something I use literally every single day for everything here on the channel, and honestly, even for some of my clinical things, writing up treatment plans, progress notes, and all of those things. And so the reason that I don't usually go with iPhones is not because it's not a fantastic device, but more so because iPhones are kind of more curated and sort of controlled in terms of what you're getting out of the phone. And it doesn't mean it's bad, it's just that I personally prefer more of the open interface that you're getting on, say, like a Galaxy S24 Ultra, my Galaxy Fold 6. I absolutely love that thing because of all the multitasking productivity work that I can do on those phones, especially with the S Pen. You absolutely are getting a more open phone experience with the Pixel 9, of course, because you're getting split screen, which is fantastic if you're trying to go back and forth between, say, like Google Docs, Google Sheets, or say like a Twitter tab and YouTube, or any of those things that you're trying to do. But you're not getting an S Pen, and you're also not getting Samsung DeX, which is something that I think is pretty darn impressive and not something that I personally use all the time because my MacBook Pro is amazing. But I think in terms of like having more of an open interface and ecosystem to work within for the phone itself, the iPhone is a bit closer to the Pixel in that way because the Pixel doesn't have those offerings. And whether or not those are really big deals or deal breakers is absolutely going to be up to you guys, but just wanted to give you guys some context in terms of like what I look for in a phone and what I think are complementary features to have to accentuate one's lifestyle on a day-to-day basis. So screen brightness is something I typically don't really discuss in videos anymore because basically every single phone is plenty bright for outside situations, and in this situation I would say that is definitely the case. Although, even though the Pixel has a higher max peak brightness than the iPhone, I can't help but notice that in outdoor situations and perfectly bright sunlight, kind of like today, the iPhone still feels like it gets a bit brighter. Now the Pixel still gets plenty bright, but just in interesting thing that I have noticed in my time using both of these. Oh, and let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are hashtag Team Pixel, hashtag Team Apple, or maybe you're still hashtag Team Jacob. Knowing where you guys are coming from and what your perspectives are really helpful for me as a content creator in terms of like what you guys are looking for, and so let me know. Now, last video I mentioned how much I love that iPhone devices are really smooth as well as Pixel devices compared to something more like a, say, Galaxy device, where nowadays Samsung devices are super smooth, but there are just certain nuances in the animations that you're getting out of the iPhone and the Pixel that just feel really good to use on a moment-to-moment basis. In terms of this front video, the Pixel's super contrasty. Not really a fan of how it makes my face look. I look better on the iPhone, I think. The highlights in the sky. The iPhone kind of blows things out a bit. I feel like the Pixel handles things better here overall. Similar to how it handled things better than the Galaxy in my previous video. Might be a small thing to some people, but I know for some, being able to manage highlights in a way that doesn't completely blow up the sky like this is definitely a plus. And if you guys are looking for some dedicated noise canceling headphones, these are the Soundcore Space One Pros. And there's a lot packed into these that are going to make these a really nice fit for a lot of you guys. And one of the best attributes about these is how portable they are, how collapsible, and they're easy to not only fold, but unfold, wear, and go. One of those things being that there's 4-stage noise cancellation built into these, and so you can very comfortably be sitting in your home, so you want to read a book, have some music on as well, but sort of want to block out all of the peripheral sound that are maybe going on in, say, your living room or your family room. You can absolutely do that. Or say you're on a crowded train on your commute to work or to school and you really want to drown out all of the other noise in the outside world. The noise cancellation on these is really impressive and are absolutely going to achieve that for you. And then you have the really impressive battery life where you're getting 40 hours worth of battery on a single charge with active noise cancellation on it. And if you're not using any active noise cancellation, you're looking at 60 hours worth of battery life. I actually have some Soundcore earbuds that I purchased with my own money. My sister actually has a pair of Soundcore headphones as well. And one of the things that we really like about those is the customized drivers, where you can actually tweak and customize the sound profile. And that customizability is here as well. So you can make these sound the way that you want them to sound, which is a huge plus. And the last thing is that these are incredibly portable and flexible. So if you guys are looking for some dedicated headphones that not only sound good, are portable, give you really great battery life, and allow you to tweak sound that you're getting out of them to what you personally would like to hear, I'll have a link in the description down below so you guys can get some for yourself. All right, so if you guys are looking for cameras, both of these flat out are going to give you really good point and shoot experiences. You're getting really good detail and clarity out of both of these, and zoom capabilities are pretty comparable on both of these. I do think that the Pixel 9 Pro XL is getting a little bit more detail retention on those farther zoom pictures than the iPhone 15 Pro Max is. The iPhones aren't bad, there are just certain instances in which the Pixel is just getting a bit more detail retention out of those zoom pictures. Now, when it comes to the video, I have to say that 8K boost feature that you're getting over here on the Pixel 9 is really impressive in terms of like the additional clarity and detail that you're getting, with the caveat that once you take the video, it takes sometimes several hours for it to actually be uploaded into the cloud, then processed, then sent back down to your phone to get the benefit of that additional quality. If you ask me over here on the iPhone, that Pro RAW video that you're getting here is remarkable. You guys know me if you've been here long enough. I try and be as unbiased as possible. Historically, I'm definitely more of an Android guy, right? And I really enjoy, like, say, the 8K video that you're getting on the S24 Ultra. But man, the Pro RAW video that you're getting here out of the iPhone is by far, to this day, my favorite video capture on any device. It just looks more like it's coming out of a professional DSLR camera in terms of the detail and depth that you're getting out of the video. And so for me, if you're looking for video, as long as you know how to grade things, Pro RAW, nothing really beats it over here. The 8K video is impressive and you are getting more additional detail, especially in like zoom situations. Now, if I had to guess, for most of you guys that are watching this video, a really important consideration is the battery life, right? No one wants to feel like they're babysitting their phone throughout the day, feel like they have to look out for where the nearest wall outlet is. And what I can say is that over the last several years, Pixel phone battery life has really been a disappointing factor for me personally, where on a lot of their phones, I was like just barely getting around 6 hours worth of screen on time. And for me personally, as someone who's a heavy user of phones, a lot of phone calls with case managers and service providers for the clientele that I work with in therapy. And so having a phone that you feel like you have to babysit is certainly not a plus. And what I can say is that the iPhone 15 Pro Max is an excellent battery life device, and it has been alongside the S24 Ultra. Both of these phones, no matter which one you pick up, you're getting basically an entire day worth of battery. But what I can report, thankfully, is that although this doesn't have the same longevity as like my Pro Max or my S24 Ultra, what this does get me is like 7.5+ hours worth of screen on time. And for me personally, I'm someone that does have access to like a wall outlet, a charger, a power bank throughout pretty much most points of my day. And so battery life isn't as drastically important to me nowadays as it was like a few years ago, right? My Galaxy Fold 6 does not give me a full day's worth of battery life, but I have access to chargers through most points of the day, and that does a lot for me on a day-to-day basis. So I'm okay with it not lasting a full day. If I were someone that didn't have access to chargers the way that I do, I would absolutely feel comfortable bringing this with me as a daily driver and knowing I'm going to pretty comfortably get through a large majority of my day and back home and still have battery life to spare before I have to plug this in. So definitely a huge plus there. And we all know that the iPhone is a master with Face ID, but I can say that the face recognition and opening on the Pixel is super speedy, just as quick, I would say, as on the iPhone. Probably getting a higher level of security over on the iPhone, but in terms of actual practical usability, the Pixel has been really, really good. And so realistically, no matter which one of these phones you pick up on a day-to-day basis, you're getting a fantastic, well-rounded device. And of course, there are going to be some pros and cons for the Pixel and the iPhone. And hopefully this video today could give you a well-rounded idea of what you're getting with both of these. Of course, I'm gonna miss some things. I'm human. So let me know in the comment section down below. Anything I missed, I'll get to you guys as quickly as I can. But thank you guys so much again for stopping by and hanging out. I wish you a fantastic remainder of the rest of your day. And as always, peace, love, adios, bye guys, and have a great day.